Hello everyone, Ren from Hallowed Be That Game, and I am so excited to be bringing you an ultra hidden gem for Steam today, Cavalry Girls. Now this is a mech twin stick shooting waifu dating sim. I know that's a lot, but hey, this game has a lot going for it. A review code was provided to me by the publisher. However, before I accepted it, I did download the free demo because I don't like accepting codes, especially if I'm not going to be creating content or anything like that. But I went ahead and downloaded the demo. I had a blast with the demo. I went and accepted the code, and I have just been sunk in ever since. I'm about 30 hours into the game, and I've played a couple of run-throughs of the game, which we'll get into a little bit, but I think I'm about 80% the way through the game. Anyways, I've been having a blast with this, and I'm so excited to share it with you all. This is really cheap over on Steam, and I think it's well worth the price. Anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, the story of Cavalry Girls follows a frontline soldier, Mary, as she is tasked with defending the city gates for 100 days. And that's kind of like your hardcore progress tracker throughout the game. And every 10 or 20 or so days, you might have a different type of trial or boss that you'll have to face. And you'll have to balance between upgrading your mech and also upgrading the defenses for your city, as well as managing the other mechs in your unit. You can have up to 5 mechs in your unit, and yeah, it's great. And you can also have some ancillary non-named mech pilots that can, offer a nice, very diverse group to be able to defend the city with. As for the mechs themselves, this game does play like a twin stick shooter, but you're also going to have heavy mech RPG aspects to it. So you'll be wanting to buy different types of guns that you can upgrade, but also you'll be able to equip different magazines or maybe damage modifiers, different types of bullets that'll help augment your damage. And also for your mech, you'll be wanting to increase your mobility, your accuracy, and also your rotational speed, how quick you can pan around with the twin stick shooting. It is a lot of fun and extremely addicting. Now, this game, I will be honest, right out of the gate, it's just a lot kind of hitting you all at once. Once you get into the groove, I mean, time just melts away playing this. Now, you have your mechs, but you'll also have a city defense side of this game as well. So you'll be able to lay out different fortifications. Maybe you can put out barbed wire, which will serve to slow enemy troops, because you're fighting this mech onslaught that's trying to breach the walls of the city. And it has a lot of kind of Muv-Love feel to it. It's a pretty dark and dire futuristic dystopia, but I really like it. And yeah, you'll be laying out different fortifications like barbed wire to slow enemy advances, or you can lay down sandbags that allow you to shoot easily through, but also help mitigate some of the damage coming in. You can eventually upgrade those to be just an impenetrable wall. Or you can also, in time, be able to build machine gun turrets or other mech pilots that you can be able to put out. It's just extremely complex. I will say that. It is complex, but it's also really fun and rewarding. Now, one thing I was concerned about in the beginning was there going to be any noticeable sense of power creep? Because sometimes in mech RPGs, a lot of the stats are just for fluff. And even though some of the mech components that you can equip are a little confusing, once you understand that rotational speed is just how quick your reticle can move around, or once you learn that you can crouch in this game to be able to increase, damage and accuracy. Now, there isn't just twin stick combat to this. Now, I did play this with a mouse and keyboard, but it does have controller support. I did try to boot this game up on the Steam Deck. It booted up, but it still has a little ways to go to be able to function properly on the Steam Deck. The devs are constantly putting out patches on this game to improve the experience. With a mouse and keyboard, you can hold shift to sprint and you'll have a stamina sprint meter. And also you can hold crouch. Now, in a crouch position, you can shoot farther and more accurately. And this is great for just kind of picking off targets as they're coming into the base. And it's a pretty epic feeling when you just have hordes of enemies, cresting over onto the screen. And you're just, it gets pretty intense, but I freaking love it. Now, there are also boss fights and things like that in this game that will help you increase like the very diverse nature of missions, because it's not just defending the base. Sometimes you'll have different objectives. There's also side missions in this, which I'll get into here in a little bit. As you upgrade your character and build up the defenses of the city, it's a really rewarding experience, but it can also be punishing if you're not keeping up with upgrading the different types of resources and fortifications of your mech and base. Now, there are side missions in this game. Now, these are strike missions that you'll be able to send out your other mech pilots I don't want to tell anybody how to play this game, but in my experience, I would definitely send the sniper out on most missions, just because they're able to just kind of cheese some of the tougher encounters. But those strike missions might send you on different objectives to go behind enemy lines, to destroy some production facilities, or maybe to target a transport that's, bringing supplies for the enemy. It's great. And also some of your missions might vary from defending the main city on the main missions to being have to protect a transport that's going through. And it can be really intense, but there's a lot of varied here. And later on in the game, there'll even be some missions where enemies attack at night, so you have very limited line of sight, and it's kind of spooky. And I don't know, it's just really cool how just for a twin stick combat and defending a gates, they're able to mix up a lot of the combat over the 100 days. As you hit those increments throughout the 100 days, maybe in they call them perimeter days, and then in some of those perimeter days and checkpoints, you'll be able to get new members or maybe unlock different features. Now, I want to take some time to talk about kind of the management and base building sim of it. But there's quite a bit that you can do to improve your power levels in the game. Now, power progression in this is the name of the game. It's truly, I don't know, maybe this is why I find it so addicting. So you have this passive resource that you can spend money called manpower. You can use manpower, which I think you have a base of 10, and you can spend a certain amount of money as it grows to increase your cap of manpower. But you can use that manpower to just passively generate a little extra cash between missions, or you can use it to get gift items to give to your party members and increase your relationships with them. Or you can also use it for recreation purposes and increase almost like a persona social status. And a lot of those are key and integral to making your time a lot easier in the game. Those can give you extra actions to spend between missions, whether you want to spend it to get more weapons or resources or more gifts to give your party members. Because yes, your party members, as you build your relationships with them, it will unlock further bonuses for your mechs and also some key items. It's really great because there's a lot of incentive to grow close to your party members. Now, there is also a level of strategy in how you want to unlock your party members, because you can effectively choose which party members you want to join when. I first started off by picking Claire because she's in this giant paladin mech, and it doesn't move very fast, but it unloads a lot of firepower. I kind of view it like Heavy Arms from Gundam Wing, but as you grow closer to your party members, you'll unlock story segments with them. Now, the story cutscenes in this, even though it has an excellent kind of anime opener, the story cutscenes are very pretty, but they're uncolored. So it's a little jarring at first, but maybe it's a stylistic choice. But as you go closer to your party members and advance through the story, you'll unlock these cutscenes for them. There is a pretty endearing story here. The translation is a little rough in spots. They're still patching it in here and there. Some of the sentences don't quite translate really well, but it's got really good voice acting in English if you guys are interested. I haven't tried any of the other languages. But yeah, as you grow closer to your party members, there's kind of like this ebb and flow that you'll go out on missions, you'll acquire all these resources, and then when you come back, you'll want to try to get this ball rolling to where you have enough gifts to give your party members to help them grow closer to you. But also, if you send people out on too many missions, they will gain a brain load, which is effectively like incentivizes you to switch them out, because you can only send out 2 people on a main mission at a time, or 1 person on a strike mission at one time. So it kind of gives them a chance to cool off their stress or brain load. But you can also give them gifts and to grow closer to them and decrease their brain load. And there's a lot of other activities that you can do to increase that. Now, I know I've said a lot here, and yes, it is a lot. However, once you kind of see the matrix and it all falls together, there's an extremely intricate and engaging and extremely rewarding game to be found here. And yeah, I can't get enough of it. In fact, I wanted to get this video out to you all because it just came out this, I think when this video goes live, it will have been out a week. But yeah, I'm having a blast with this. I think it's totally going under the radar, which is a shame. It's a great game. And yeah, I highly recommend Cavalry Girls. And yeah, here at the end, I just want to give some tips and tricks for anybody who might pick this up. Yeah, I would highly recommend sending the sniper girl out on the strike missions. Like I said, she can cheese those. Don't neglect upgrading your mechs. Now, a lot of time I was just recycling excess parts because I didn't realize that you could right click an item, and if you have two of the same level item, you can combine them together for a more improved component, and you can do that with weapons as well. And then, yeah, you get this massive power creep and you start mowing things down. I mean, my first playthrough of this game, I got to like day 60 and just hit a hard brick wall. I couldn't go any further. And yeah, I was just like, wow, okay. And so I took everything I had learned from that, went back to the beginning and played it again, and just kind of been mowing my way through. And it's been excellent, extremely rewarding experience. But also, this game's not necessarily meant to be completed in your first go through. I want to state that clearly, because as you hit achievements, if you play it on the normal difficulty, which I would recommend, easy's a little bit misleading, but yeah, if you play it on the normal difficulty, you'll gain achievements by just beating things, creating things, growing closer to your party, you know, upgrading your apartment, which is oddly addictive. I really like that. As you do that, you get achievement points, and then what you can do is use those achievement points to give yourself base upgrades for your next playthrough. It does stink that you do have to play a new playthrough to access those. However, it just kind of incentivizes you to think, okay, I might not beat the game this time, but as long as I get some achievements, I'll get a base power level creep from the next game. And those achievement points are pretty stellar. I mean, they're no joke. Like, you can make it to where you're immediately closer to party members faster, or you have the ability to access more action points faster, or access to key components in your base with a higher level faster. I mean, it's noticeable power gains. So definitely recommend, you know, not being discouraged if you first go through the game, it's going a little poorly, okay? Because I think it's supposed to. But yeah, I've been loving it. But how about you? Is anybody else out there a crazy person for mech waifu RPGs? I am. Anyways, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing for more Hidden Gem content. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you next time.